I want to tell you about the worst Saturday morning of my life. I was sitting in my car outside a jewelry store, ring in a box in my lap. Had been saving for 8 months. 8 months of packed lunches, no nights out, picking up extra shifts on weekends. The kind of saving where you tell yourself it's worth it because she's worth it. My phone buzzed. Group chat. One of my boys had sent a link with no caption. Just the link. Then another boy sent it. Then another. It was her Twitter, a thread she had posted the night before, while I was sleeping, about her college years. Bragging, laughing about it, tagging her girls. The comments were going crazy. Hundreds of likes already. I sat in that parking lot for 45 minutes. Ring still in the box, engine still running. This is what happened after that. Let me tell you who I was before I tell you who I became. I was 26, working a decent job in logistics. Not glamorous, not impressive at dinner parties, but stable. I drove a clean car I was still paying off. Had a one-bedroom apartment I was proud of. Went to the gym maybe twice a week when I wasn't too tired. Called my mom every Sunday. I was a good boyfriend. I know every guy says that, but let me be specific. I remembered things. Her sister's birthday, the name of her annoying coworker, the coffee order she changed 4 times in a year, and I tracked every single update. I showed up. I was consistent. I was also, if I'm being honest with myself now, soft. Not weak, but soft. The kind of guy who thought love was about being available, being there, being safe. Her name was Danielle. We had been together 2 years and 3 months. I had met her family. She had a drawer at my place. We had talked about the future in the way couples do when they're serious. Not hypothetically, but with actual plans, actual timelines. I thought I knew who she was. I thought she was the kind of girl you saved 8 months for. I was the last person in my own life to find out that wasn't the whole story. I need to tell you exactly what was in that thread because I think you need to understand the full picture before you understand what it did to me. It started with a tweet that said, not me thinking about my villain era in college and realizing I felt nothing and I'd do it all again. And then she just kept going, replies to herself. Her girls hyping her up in the comments. She talked about the football team, plural, laughed about it, used words like secured and ran through like they were achievements. Posted a photo of herself from that era, same smile I'd been waking up next to for 2 years. One of her girls replied, Danielle really said collect them all. And she liked it. Heart reaction. Liked it. I had bought her a ring that morning. The comment section was the worst part because it wasn't just strangers. There were people in there who knew us, knew me. People who had sat at my table and eaten my food and shaken my hand. And they were liking it. Laughing emoji, fire emoji. Not one person said, hey, isn't she with someone? My phone kept buzzing. My boys weren't even saying anything in the group chat anymore, just adding new screenshots every few minutes, like they were documenting it for me, making sure I couldn't pretend I hadn't seen it. One of them finally typed, bro, you good? I wasn't good. I was sitting in a parking lot outside a jewelry store with a ring I couldn't return for 3 business days, holding a phone that wouldn't stop lighting up, watching the woman I was about to propose to get praised by the internet for being everything she'd let me believe she wasn't. And the thing that broke me, the thing that actually broke me, wasn't the post itself. It was that she hadn't even thought about me when she posted it. I wasn't even a consideration. I was so irrelevant to that version of her that it didn't even cross her mind that I might see it. That told me everything I needed to know about how she actually saw me. I drove home. I put the ring in the back of my sock drawer. I did not call her. She texted me at noon. You coming over tonight? I said I was tired. She never brought up the post. Not that day, not ever. Which meant one of two things. Either she genuinely forgot I existed when she posted it, or she just didn't care enough to check if I'd seen it. I still don't know which one is worse. I broke up with her 4 days later. Kept it short, no big speech. I told her I needed to go in a different direction. She cried, asked what she did wrong. I didn't answer that. I didn't have the energy to explain something she should have already known. What I did after that, and I want to be real with you about this, was nothing heroic. I did not immediately hit the gym and start a business. I sat in my apartment for about 3 weeks, eating badly and replaying everything, the whole 2 years. Every moment I thought was real, measured against what I now knew. It was like doing inventory on a house and realizing half the furniture wasn't yours. But then one morning I woke up and I thought, I have 8 months of savings and no ring to spend it on. And something shifted. I am not going to pretend the next 2 years were a movie montage. They weren't. They were boring and hard, and there were months where I questioned every decision I was making. But here's what I actually did. I took that 8 months of savings and put it into a course I had been putting off for 2 years. Supply chain certifications that my employer had told me twice would fast track a promotion. I'd always found a reason to delay. There was no reason anymore. I finished in 4 months. Got the promotion 2 months after that. Pay jump was significant. Not life changing, but significant enough that I started a separate savings account the same week and didn't touch it. I started going to the gym consistently, not because of her, because I had been meaning to for 3 years and kept choosing comfort instead. The breakup had stripped away the comfort. So I went. 5 days a week, nothing crazy, I just stopped skipping. By month 8, I looked different. Not dramatically, but I could see it. More importantly, other people could see it. I stopped being available to everyone. That was the quietest change and the most important one. I stopped being the guy who picked up every call, answered every text immediately, showed up whenever someone needed something. I became slower to respond, more deliberate. People noticed that too. I am not going to tell you I became a different person. I'm going to tell you I became a more complete version of the person I already was. The version I had been putting on hold because I was too busy being someone's safe option. 2 years and 1 month after that Saturday morning in the parking lot, I ran into Danielle. Not planned. Mutual friend's birthday. I almost didn't go. I'm glad I did. She looked the same. I did not look the same. She came over to say hi, made small talk, asked how I was doing. I told her honestly, good, really good. She asked about work. I told her about the promotion, the second one that had come 6 months after the first, the project I was leading. I wasn't bragging. I was just answering her question. At some point, she said, "You seem really different." I said, "I am." She said, "I feel like I made a mistake." I want to tell you, I said something cold and perfect. I didn't. I just looked at her for a second and then said, "I don't think you did. I think it worked out how it was supposed to." And I meant it. Not for her sake, for mine. Because the man who bought that ring in that parking lot was not ready for what he has now. He was comfortable. He was soft in the wrong ways. He needed that Saturday morning the same way you sometimes need something to break. Before you'll rebuild it properly, I heard through the grapevine, months later, that things hadn't gone well for her. The internet moves fast and it doesn't forget. The tweet had a longer tail than she expected. I didn't feel good about that. I didn't feel bad about it either. I just felt done. If you're watching this from a parking lot, metaphorically or literally, I want to say something to you directly. The ring in your lap is not wasted money. It's a decision you didn't make. And sometimes the best thing that can happen to you is finding out the truth before you sign up for a lifetime of it. I know it doesn't feel like that right now. It feels like humiliation. Like everyone saw something you missed. Like you were the last to know and the first to look stupid. That feeling is real. Sit with it. Don't skip it. And then put the ring in the sock drawer. Take the savings and go build something she'll spend the rest of her life being a footnote to.